What is up, Stone Posters? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite crappie fishing jigs, a little tube jig. There's a few different varieties. You can get a solid body or a hollow body. Both are going to do a little bit different things. For instance, like a hollow body, obviously the body is hollow. What I like to do with that is actually put scent inside there, and it helps attract fish a little bit better. A hollow body, it's going to be more durable. You're going to be able to just run a hook right through it, like a normal soft plastic. I think one of the more difficult things is rigging a hollow body tube. So I'll show you two ways that you can do it. You can choose which one you like better. The first one is going to be taking your jig head, which in this case actually goes on the inside of the tube. So it looks like that. And then how you're going to start is know that your eyelet is on top of your weight. So that weight, or that eyelet, is going to come out of the tube about like that. So what you want to do is take your hook point, put that in where that eyelet's going to come out, and you'll just run that through there just like you would any other plastic. And then you'll push the tube over the weight just like that and bring it up and around. But as you can see, it'll kind of tear the plastic a little bit. So just getting the plastic worked over around the weight, it'll tear it sometimes. So it's not the most ideal way to do it, but I would say that it's like the second alternative to doing it this other way that I'm going to show you. This way it can be a little bit tricky to get the hang of, but I like doing it this way a lot better. For this one, you're going to go through the bottom of the tube. So you'll just get that eyelet to go in, and then you'll turn it around there, and it's going to want, the eyelet is going to want to poke through the body of the tube. So what you're going to want to do is kind of keep that tube at a 90-degree angle so that you don't put any pressure from the eyelet onto the tube, and you just pull that up just like a sock, and that eyelet is just going to pop out. Once you get to the right spot, you just push that plastic down, your eyelet's going to stick out just like that, and you're ready to go fishing with that. You don't have to use a jig head like that. You can use one with a wire keeper. You can use one with your standard big neck like that. If you're going to go the route, instead of getting the weights that go inside the tube, I would go with a wire keeper. It's going to save your plastic a little bit, and it's not going to make it as fragile. If you use one with the big neck, it's going to want to tear it more. It's going to be harder to keep that tube on the actual jig head. Another thing is colors. I like to keep it simple. My favorite one is probably going to be this orange and chartreuse. It works pretty good all year. I ice fished with it and all the way through spawn this spring and caught fish with it consistently. So that's probably going to be one of my go-to colors in darker water. So for dirty water, you'll want reds and oranges. And then for clean water, green and browns are kind of your go-to colors there. Now, in terms of how you're going to fish this jig, it's pretty simple. What I typically do, just cast it out, let it drop, give it a few seconds to drop, and then just reel it back in. You can give it some twitches. When you're fishing it underwater, these tails, they're just going to sit there, and when you twitch it like that, these tails are just going to bounce around, and that's really what crappie like. It's just little subtle movements. Any jig or soft plastic that you can find with just a little thin tail like that, some of these rat tails work pretty good too. Just that little tail kicking around is what crappie really like. But yeah, just you can jig it, just drop it straight down into like a brush pile and just set it there and give it a few bounces like that. In dirtier water, having that scent on there. I like garlic and salt. It just helps them find that bait a little bit easier. So definitely adding scent in dirtier water or when the bite is pretty tough, I think that is a big game changer. It just convinces the fish that it's real and they're a little bit more willing to bite it then. Alright, so as you can see, tubes are pretty versatile. You can rig them a couple different ways. There's a lot of different sizes. I know for bass they're pretty popular as well. I really like them for crappie. However you want to rig your tube jig is going to work. Whatever you find, there's plenty of different ways. You can Texas rig them, however you put the hook into them. If you do it my way, if you do it a different way, whatever works for you. They're very versatile. They're very good jigs. I really like using them. So if you haven't ever used one, I would definitely recommend them, especially for crappie fishing. The little tentacles really gets crappie going. They also work for bass. Comment down below what other jigs you want to see rigged up, what other plastics. I will start making some more videos, little how-to videos, so let me know down below and we'll see you next time. We also got some new stickers made up, so be sure to message me if you want some. They're for sale.